Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to episode 1 of C# for Beginners. Now, for this series, I'm not going to assume that you are completely stupid. I'm going to assume that you know how to download and install a program. So, for this, I'm going to be using my regular Visual Studio that I always use for my actual programs. In my C++, I downloaded Visual C++ Express Edition. You can go ahead and find and download C# Express Edition. It's basically on the same exact page as the C++. Just watch the first video of the C++. You'll see the download page. Just grab the C# version and you will be good. But I'm just going to be using this because I don't want to have 400 different programs installed on this computer, so I'm just going to use what I always use for C#. Everything's the exact same, the code is the exact same, so you should be completely fine. So, first of all, what we need to do is create a new project, a Visual C#, and we are going to make a console application, and we are going to call this Hello World. And basically, Hello World is basically the most basic program you can write. It's everybody's first program, so I'm going to start you off in the trend. So here we have our program.c# file. That's what CS stands for. Now up here are our using statements, which basically say there's some functions or commands or statements or whatever. We're gonna use them later, so go ahead and let us have access to those, because for instance we're going to write to the console, so we're going to need all the system commands to actually use the system's console. If we don't have that, then it's going to be like what are you trying to do? There's no console, so we put the system in there and it figures it out. Now the namespaces are basically just ways to organize your programs. Just kind of give them a label, your different classes and stuff. It just kind of gives them a label. Then we have our class program, which basically everything in C# is in classes. It's basically a blueprint. So, for instance, I could make a human class, and inside the human class it would have all the different attributes like eye color, hair color, etc. And I could make many objects of the human class. Well, we'll get more into that later. Probably doesn't make much sense, but I'll make sure it makes sense later on. And here we are. This is the main thing we need to focus on. Is the static void main string args. This is basically every computer program needs somewhere to start. Otherwise, you'll have all of these thousands of lines of code, and the computer doesn't know which line of code to start at. So all C# programs have to have a static void main method or function or method. Yeah. If I use method and function, I basically mean the same exact thing. It's just it gets a little confusing because different languages call them methods. Some of them call them functions. Some of them have methods and functions. So I'm just going to call them methods, I guess. But basically, this is where the computer will start the program, so all of our code needs to go in here, and then from here we'll call other things. So basically, okay, I'm kind of making everything a little more complicated than it is, so just write console.writeLine followed by parentheses, and inside these quotes just simply write hello world, and after this write console.read. Read line, I mean. So basically what this is going to do, console.writeLine, you can imagine what it does. It writes a line to the console, and you can write whatever you want inside these parentheses, it doesn't matter. And then the console.readLine, here I'll just show you what happens if we don't have that. Let me comment that out. We'll talk more about comments later. As you can see, it just kind of opened up and closed instantly, because in the computer's mind it goes, okay, here's the main method. We write a line to the console. There's nothing else to do, so we quit. So we have to have this console.readLine in there. So it's going to write hello world, and it's going to say, all right, we need to wait until the user presses enter before we close the window. So here we go. As you can see, it says hello world. If I click enter, it closes, and that is basically the end of the hello world program. There's nothing really else to it. So thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode. Also, if at some point I don't make any sense or I overcomplicate things, go ahead and let me know so I can try to address the issue. Because the whole point of this series is to teach people how to program, and if I'm not doing that well, I kind of need to know. So, anyways, thank you for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next episode.